let me talk about Sage, Xero and QuickBooks. I don't know what experience you've had of QuickBooks and Xero and all these very, very good accounting and bookkeeping programs. I mean, they really are good. But I smile sometimes because I see these adverts on TV and they're advertising QuickBooks, and I'm looking at, you know, someone making candles or somebody making ornaments or someone running a cafe or a mechanic, and they're all smiling of how wonderful all these programs are, and they are good, but they're not that good. And even though I love them, I still have a whole team upstairs working on these programs. I mean, Xero and QuickBooks, I think we're one of the bigger partners in the Northwest, certainly, of using Xero. And we're actually, it's cheaper to subscribe to Xero through us and QuickBooks than it is to go to Xero or QuickBooks. So come to us, it's cheaper. A lot of it's cheaper because we don't charge anyone, so you can't really compete with that. So if you do want one of these programs, you want to operate it, just let me know. I'll sort it out for you, and I probably won't even charge you. Where we've got an issue is that people don't realise that whether it's on a computer program or an old manual ledger, it still takes time to do, and you've still got to learn the ways of the program. You still need to be able to have to set up your chart of accounts and your trial balance, and then know how to move things around. It is more time consuming than people think. And the bigger thing is, it's not just doing the number crunching, it's actually analysing the data. So you get all this data now. Numbers make patterns. I love numbers. I mean, and I know it sounds daft, but when you look through sheets of numbers, you can sometimes see patterns, and you see the reflection of life in those patterns. I mean, numbers are so. I don't need to go on about numbers, but I'll tell you now. My cousin lives in the States, and he was telling me years ago that the IRS service out there actually have sort of like calculations of how often numbers like the number 7 and the number 11 and other prime numbers appear in everyday calculations, because apparently an expense is more likely to end in an even number than an odd number, and it's even less likely to end in a 7. So if they see lots of returns going in saying £9.77, £977, they're less likely to believe it than 975. So numbers tell stories, and I can tell you stories about your business just by looking at your accounts, and that's what you want. You want somebody to tell you what the numbers mean and what to do to act on it. So even though I love these programs, I'm not sure whether you see some guy serving his car in a nice shiny overall, being really happy because he's got QuickBooks or Xero behind him sorting out his tax, because they really don't. It needs somebody that knows what they're doing to actually sort it out and give you the information you want. So it's not a plug for accountants, it's just that's why accountants are. If you think about it, if it was that good, there wouldn't be any accountants left. But we're getting busier and busier because of things like Xero, because people think, yeah, I've got it, but it means I've got to go and sign on, and I've got to do this, and I've still got to have the paperwork. I mean, I can. It's much easier for me to alert you to people paying late than it is for you to do it yourself. It's much easier for me to then tell you what to do about it and introduce you to maybe the right insurance or credit agencies or collection agencies that can help you even more, or even finance if that's what you need. So there's a much bigger picture. So I speak to our agents at these companies anyway, and they really are marketing to get their accountants to set these things up rather than the public to set these things up. So, I just thought I'd put that in because I think it's quite important.